Hi guys, so Dominic Raab, the Foreign Secretary, appeared on Sky News to talk about the latest insane proposal by the Conservative government to deal with migration. Well, we've heard about wave machines, we've heard about nets, we've heard about jet skis and the Royal Navy all being deployed to stop people arriving on British shores. Well, the latest scheme seems to be a rehashed version of something that was leaked to the media last year. Now, in 2020, there was talk of sending asylum seekers to an island in the Atlantic where they would be processed. That plan was scrapped allegedly, and instead the new one, it seems, is to send people to Albania. Let's hear from Dominic Raab.
Let's talk about migrants, should we? I'm reading in the Times this morning that apparently you're going to gather them up, put them on planes, and send them to Albania. What a great idea. Obviously not.
Well, look, we've seen 19,000 crossings stopped this year alone, 65 convictions secured, the predatory criminal gangs that thrive on this miserable trade. The Home Secretary has been engaged with her opposite number in France this week. Their determination is to eliminate all of these illegal crossings.
Eliminate all of these illegal crossings. Now, Priti Patel promised, and this was an insane promise, even by Tory standards, she promised to eliminate 100% of these crossings, which is impossible. It's practically impossible because anyone can arrive on the French coast, get in a boat and cross the sea. So you can't eliminate all of these crossings and you can't control the entire channel. The resources are not available to do that. So this was just an insane promise, once again, to keep racists happy.
I think it's right. There's practice around the world in relation to this to look at least the possibilities of international partnerships for international processing of some of these claims.
They're not going to Albania though, are they? Come on.
Well, that's one country, but
That's one country. So yes, they are going to Albania. So what's going to happen here? People who will arrive, Priti Patel has said nobody will arrive, but people will arrive on UK shores. They'll be picked up by Border Force, and then they will be put on a plane and sent to Albania. Now let's ignore the cost of picking people up, putting them on a plane and sending them to Albania. But what's going to happen? They'll arrive in Albania, and Albania is one country. He said, it's one country. He admitted himself. It's not just Albania. There will be other countries. So the UK government is going to give money, pay the Albanian government to basically hold these people indefinitely. Not to process them. Officially, of course, it will be to process their asylum claims. And if these asylum claims are successful, what's going to happen? They're going to be relocated back in the UK. Does anyone really think that's going to happen? It's about keeping these people out. It's about keeping the racists happy. So if there are people coming back, if asylum claims are, some of them may be for publicity reasons. Yes, we'll allow some people in. But this is about holding people indefinitely. It's about moving the problem to somewhere else. And we're willing to pay the Albanian government to do this. Now, I don't know if this is legal. I don't know if this is in breach of UN conventions. It doesn't sound very legal to me. People arrive in your country and by law, under UN conventions, you're supposed to process them there. You're supposed to provide them with accommodation and the ability to process their claim, to make the claim and to wait for it to be processed. If they fail in their application, they are deported. But what the British government seem to want to do is, like in Australia, is to take the people before they can make their claim and send them to somewhere else where they will make their claim. And I don't think this is legal, but I'm not an expert.
As Foreign Secretary, we are willing to look with partners at whether it's possible to do this international processing. The point is, as well as focusing on regional processing, which is probably the best way, the optimum way to dealing with refugees, close to source as possible, better for them.
How is it better for them? They want to get to the UK. They don't want to stay in Albania. They don't want to stay in France. Why? I wish somebody would ask Dominic Raab or Priti Patel, why do these people want to arrive in the UK? Well, obviously the answer is because they have friends, family, they speak the language. That's why they want to arrive in the UK. They want to have a better life. They want to avoid the situation that they're leaving. So the solution is...
but also we want to look with international partners at how we reduce the pull factor. So that is the incentives for the criminal gangs to try and bring people from these war-torn zones or these poorer parts of the world to the UK. We must reduce the pull factor. We'll look at all of the legitimate means of doing that, and we'll do so with our partners now.
The pull factor, so he's talking about so why people want to arrive in the UK, and we need to eliminate the pull factor. The people want to leave these war-torn zones, as you've said. So the pull factor is, I want to survive. I want to go to an area, I go to a place that I can live. That's the pull factor. You want to eliminate that pull factor. That's insane. Now, he's also talking about these criminal gangs. Okay, well, you know how you defeat the criminal gangs? It's very simple, very easy, is you make it easier for people to arrive using safe, secure routes. People arrive in the UK, they have their asylum claim processed quickly, humanely, and then if they are rejected, they are deported. If they are accepted, then they go on to the next stage to remain in the UK. That should be the process. But what the government is doing is they're creating barriers. They're making it more difficult for people to arrive through secure routes. So what do people do? They arrive via dangerous routes, like crossing the channel in a dinghy. Now, people will say, well, why don't the government just make it easier for people to arrive and then process them? Well, you don't want to do that if you're a right-wing government, because you need to keep this issue alive. Now, maybe I'm being cynical here or overly cynical, but if you look at other governments around the world, right-wing governments, they do exactly the same thing. Make it difficult for people to arrive. People will arrive anyway because they want to arrive in your country, either through safe or unsafe routes. Make it more difficult, and then you can keep this issue of, look at all these horrible people coming across the sea to our land. We don't want them. We need to send them back. We need to waste resources sending these people back. But these are political tools. They're used to keep a certain section of society not happy, but angry. Because once they're angry, they will vote for you. The angry people will never vote for the Labour Party. They always want to be angry, it seems. They want to keep these people out, even though these tools that the government are using are not keeping people out, because the people will arrive anyway. So once again, when it comes to Albania or other countries, I don't know if this is legal. It doesn't sound legal because according to UN conventions, when you arrive in the UK or in a country, you should be processed in that country, not sent to somewhere else. But Brexit comes in here as well. Of course, Brexit has to be involved here, because if the UK was still a member of the European Union, it could work with France, with other countries in Europe, to relocate these migrants, these asylum seekers. But now that the UK is out, it's more difficult. So the solution, it seems, is, well, we'll send them to non-EU countries. Or we'll send them to Albania. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?